do that, yeah. I just work on saving business, saving energy. So I work on all the types of in the Middle East, and France, things like that. Boston, actually, the Newton area of Boston, so, but not that much, but more on your plate. So. I think I play more than your plate. I saw the new, we did the new first class yesterday, and that's very nice.
Thank you very much. Would you help me thank the quartet, ladies and gentlemen? Rhapsody in Blue, of course, the theme for United. Good morning, everybody. Oh, let's try this. Let's make it interactive. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in Singapore, Mr. Blair Hall. Distinguished guests, my colleagues from the media, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. Good morning and welcome to the United Airlines inaugural non-stop flight from Singapore to San Francisco. And indeed, today is the launch of the only non-stop flight from Singapore to the United States. More about that later on. Good morning, and well, first of all, to introduce myself, my name is Joe Augustin, Singapore's first forcibly retired male model. And, I got a woo. Wow, I love it. Thank you. Now, as you can see, with all the food and drink, the entertainment, the VIPs assembled, today is a very special day for United Airlines, and in fact, so important that their Vice President, Atlantic and Pacific Sales, flew in from San Francisco this morning, arriving just an hour ago on the same 787 Dreamliner that you'll be departing on later on this morning. And he's here to say a few words. Would you please welcome the Vice President for Atlantic and Pacific Sales, United Airlines, Mr. Marcel Fuchs.
Thank you very much. Joe, thank you very much for the very warm introduction. Really appreciate it. Dear customers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for getting up early for this very, very historic event. On behalf of the 86,000 employees at United Airlines, we're very, very proud to write history today by operating the first time ever non-stop service between the Lion City and Silicon Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just flown in on this beautiful Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner with many customer-pleasing amenities that can tell you that we're just so pleased that we can bring the latest state-of-the-art airplane to the beautiful city of Singapore. We've been starting to fly to Singapore on the 13th of February 1986 with the 747 to Hong Kong. Well, we've just celebrated our 30-year anniversary. A lot of things have changed, technology of the airplane, and we're just really happy that we now have a non-stop service to our West Coast premier Trans-Pacific hub, San Francisco. San Francisco, as you know, is not only a gateway, it's a fantastic destination. I'm sure many of our guests here today will stop over or have their journey end in San Francisco. It's the home of 13,000 United employees. We're very, very proud to have the largest share of the business in San Francisco. We're delighted that we handle over 10 million customers every year. We connect to 90 destinations, 40 of them non-stop when you arrive from Singapore, beautiful connectivity, and 26 of these cities are unique one-stop destinations, which now you no longer have two connections to get to your final destination. When you take this flight from Singapore to San Francisco, we are shaving off at least 4 hours of your valuable time vis-a-vis the traditional option by Hong Kong or via Narita. So we're delighted about introducing this new service. A new service preparation like this always takes a lot of work. I want to thank everybody who's in this room and who is not, because they may be on a ramp, loading bag or catering. I want to thank our friends at SATS who made the impossible possible by moving terminals so quickly. I want to thank everybody at Changi Airport who've been helpful in terms of the facilities, assisting us with the slot. I want to thank the Civil Aviation Office of Singapore for all the help they've done to assist us. And most importantly, thank you so much, Blair Hall at the Embassy, the DCM for all the support, and Light Tech from the Changi Airport for his assistance. Whether you're on a ramp, whether you load your bag, whether you're cargo or catering, maintenance, or whether you fly the trip, our operating crew today, you have the finest professional who take you back home to San Francisco or for your vacation. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of United Airlines, I thank you sincerely for your loyalty, for your business. Thank you for choosing United Airlines today. We look forward to serving you many, many times more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fuchs. Well, at the recent Changi Airport Awards, we heard how Changi is always looking how to build Singapore into more of a travel hub for the world. And a man who's played a critical role in the pursuit of that goal is the man who I'm about to invite to the stage, the Executive Vice President for Airport Management at Changi Airport Group. Would you please welcome Mr. Tan Lai Tek?
Your Excellency, Mr. Blair Hall, the Deputy Chief of Mission of the US Embassy to Singapore, Mr. Marcel Fuchs, VP, Atlantic and Pacific Sales, United Airlines, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course this morning, what a chance for me to say to all the passengers here at Changi Airport, you are our precious, valued passengers. We truly love you all. So good morning to all of you, and to our guests from abroad, a very warm welcome to Singapore. Today we celebrate United Airlines' successful launch of its new daily non-stop flight between San Francisco and Singapore. This is truly a significant milestone for Singapore Changi Airport, as is now our very first non-stop direct link to San Francisco. So thank you very much, United, for bringing this service to us. Everybody knows San Francisco is a key commercial and financial center in the Pacific Coast, and really a truly loved city in the US and abroad. Singapore and the US enjoy very close and strong trade flows and business links, with many US multinational companies basing their Asian or regional headquarters in Singapore. Therefore, UA's non-stop flight to Singapore now, especially time to meet business travel needs, will bring about much greater convenience to business travelers, who can now use United's hub in San Francisco to connect to many US cities and beyond. And not to mention that, over here in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, in perhaps the whole of the Asia Pacific, there's such strong interest in connecting between here and the West Coast and Silicon Valley. So Changi Airport is proud that Singapore has all along strong air connectivity with the US. For we know that for a country like us, good air links play a very crucial role in connecting people and businesses between our two countries. So at present, we have a total of 54 weekly services between Singapore and 6 major cities in the US. And we will want to have much more. So we are today one of the best connected airports in Southeast Asia to the US, the world's biggest economy. And your non-stop San Francisco service will help us to further strengthen our air hub in this region, and hopefully position us, as the preferred gateway between Southeast Asia and North America. I'd like to add that with our strong focus on customer service, Changi Airport is confident that we would be able to provide your passengers with unparalleled airport experience while traveling through Asia. Changi Airport is also encouraged by the fact that point-to-point traffic between Singapore and the US has been growing over the last 5 years, recording over 600,000 passenger movements last year, which is a testimony to the growing demand in this sector. So looking ahead, we are confident that traffic between Singapore and the US will continue to grow as a result of both strong business prospects, close ties, improved aircraft technology, which United Airlines is now making use of, and increasing trade and tourism flows between both countries. So over the last few months, Changi Airport Group, or CAG, and United Airlines, have been working very closely to prepare for the launch of this non-stop flight between Singapore and San Francisco. We at CAG look forward to continuing this close partnership with you, with United Airlines, with Lawrence and his team, and to help sustain and grow this strategic link between Singapore and the US. As a Singaporean, I'm certainly very thrilled now that we have a direct flight to San Francisco. Besides all the business reasons I've just mentioned, there are so many other great reasons to get on board this flight to Frisco. Just to mention a few, we are now only 16 hours away from Napa Valley. And it works the other way too. I think as somebody, let's say in the Bay Area or on the West Coast, you are only 16 hours away from chili crab here. I know you have steamed crab in Fisherman's Wharf. We have lovely chili crab here too. So, once again, I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to United Airlines on the successful launch of this new service, this non-stop flight between San Francisco and Singapore. I wish all of you an enjoyable morning, or you departing, a great flight ahead of you, and to United, continue success in this flight as well as the rest of your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tan. Well, as you've heard this morning, I mean, this is tremendous news for the traveler, business traveler or leisure traveler, to be able to cut that much time off your commute, and of course being able to use United San Francisco hub to get to the rest of the US. It's fun stuff. You've also probably realized, yes, for business, this is going to be tremendous, and we are delighted to have with us this morning as our guest of honor, the Deputy Chief of Mission at the US Embassy in Singapore, Mr. Blair Hall. I'd like to invite Mr. Hall now to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I have the very happy and I promise brief duty to give congratulations to United and to Changi Air Group. Marcel, you are testimony to this flight. You look so refreshed coming off it. I want to get on and get some rest myself. Talitech, congratulations to Changi Airport Group. I represent the United States government here in Singapore, and I'm here with my friends and colleagues from the American Embassy, from the Federal Aviation Administration, from the Transportation Security Administration, who've worked to help make this flight possible in a support role. But the hard work that the United team has done, along with Changi Air Group and all your partners here, has been really remarkable. This has been a gleam in our eye for more than a year, I think, so to see this come true is really an exciting prospect. About 8% of the US GDP is in travel and tourism. And so to have this kind of a connection, the direct link between the most dynamic economic region in the world and the most dynamic economy in the world, is incredibly important for our business. This is the future. And it's also, I'll say, as a United Million Mile Flyer and a leisure traveler, that this is a great thing for those of us who send our families around the world, who take not only the business trips, but who want to see the national parks. It's the 100th anniversary of national parks in the US. So much can be done with this kind of connection. And we at the embassy and in the US government are so happy to see this direct flight, because the provision of reliable, safe, efficient, and friendly service is really going to boost the connections that we see so important going forward between the United States and this part of the world. So I'm just going to say with that, congratulations to everyone flying. I wish I were joining you today, but I will be soon on the flight, I hope. And I just say congratulations for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Mr. Hall, if you just remain with us here, I believe United would like to present you with a token of appreciation as well. Mr. Fuchs will do the honors. So thank you very much for celebrating this joyous occasion by gracing us with your presence. I think we can do a bigger round of applause than this. Come on. Thank you very much. And as Mr. Hall takes his leave from the stage area, we'd like to ask Mr. Fuchs to remain on stage for a symbolic exchange of gifts between Changi Airport Group and United Airlines. I'd like to invite Mr. Tan, the Executive Vice President of Airport Management Group, here to join Mr. Fuchs for this segment. And first of all, a token from United. That's lovely. And I believe the Changi Airport Group as well would like to present a token in exchange to celebrate the inaugural non-stop flight from Singapore to San Francisco. So give that a round of applause as well. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Please remain on stage. We'd like to invite back our guest of honor, Mr. Hall, Mr. Lawrence Chin, the Country Manager and Offline Sales of United, Mr. Edwin Yee, General Manager of Airport Operations Cargo at United Airlines, as well as Captain Dorothy Clegg from this morning's flight, and Flight Attendant Ben Nagan White. Please join us right now to officiate the launch of the inaugural non-stop flight from Singapore to San Francisco. Now, just so you know how special and exceptional this occasion is, we've actually brought in 3 items that you normally can't bring into one of these occasions, and those are 3 pairs of scissors. So we would like to invite Mr. Tan, Mr. Blair, Mr. Hall, and Mr. Fuchs to please each take a pair of contraband. And ladies and gentlemen, perhaps all of us can count down to the official launch of this flight from Singapore to San Francisco. Shall we all do it together? 3, 2, 1. We invite everyone on stage right now to please remain for a photo opportunity. Today's flight crew joining us. And you can tell just earlier when they had arrived before the start of the event, this particular flight crew is the crew that you want to spend all that time in the air with, because they know how to have some fun.
Alright, everyone over here. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. One more shot, big smile, everyone. Okay, got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me once again in congratulating United Airlines on this momentous occasion. Well, thank you all for joining us, and for those of us who are flying to San Francisco, we wish you a pleasant journey and congratulations for being the first to fly non-stop from Singapore to San Francisco. As for the rest of our invited guests this morning, we invite you to continue to enjoy the refreshments that we have prepared for you. Also, a gentle reminder to all our guests, as you head out this morning, remember to exchange your ID or exchange your passes for your ID at the registration before departing the airport. My name is Joe Augustin, and once again, thank you for joining us for the launch of United Airlines' inaugural non-stop flight from Singapore to San Francisco.